It is a great satisfaction to greet you, and I hope you find yourself well. In today's video we will talk about the following. Is your ex's silence a good thing for you? In general, I think the question is poorly formulated. Your ex's silence after a breakup isn't good or bad, it's just natural. Let's talk more about it. 1. The most common reason why your ex tends to stay silent after a breakup. You know, there are a lot of theories floating around. From my perspective, the best explanation for why you usually go silent after a breakup is because it's just part of your psychological makeup. It's no surprise, then, that if you're dealing with a dismissive and evasive person, they may not want to contact you after the breakup. People typically do not initiate contact with their ex and rarely push for reconciliation on their own. 2. But is your ex's silence a good thing? I would say that it is not strictly bad, nor is it entirely good. It is more of a natural behavior pattern that we have noticed in most ex-partners. This pattern is even evident among people who implement the no-contact rule with their ex. The no-contact rule is a huge hit, easily one of the most popular topics in the breakup industry. However, many people naturally assume that if you use the no-contact rule with your ex, they will be more likely to reach out to initiate contact. However, the vast majority of people who use the no-contact rule are not contacted by their ex. Yes, some do, but most don't. This aligns with what we know about the avoidant attachment style. It's logical to expect that if your ex displays avoidant tendencies, she's not likely to reach out. Initially, most ex-partners do not communicate because they enjoy the freedom of being alone. They are basking in the glory of regained independence. If you know anything about the core wound of an avoidant attachment style, you'll understand that any threat to their independence can be triggering. And that's usually when the silent phase kicks in. Whether you're implementing a no-contact rule, or he's simply avoiding you because of the reminder of a possible deeper commitment, it's crucial to realize that this silent phase doesn't last forever. 2. What exactly is breakup nostalgia? One of the key points I emphasize is the importance of giving your ex space. This space allows him to take advantage of the nostalgic memory of the relationship with you. If he thinks you've moved on, that enough time has passed, that you're over him, he gives himself permission to start remembering the positive moments. It's a pattern with your ex, and it's crucial to recognize it because many people I've seen don't let their ex go through this silent phase. They want to fix things, to make sure they have the best chance of getting their ex back. Ironically, the more you push, the less likely your ex is to take advantage of that nostalgic daydream, which is essential if you're trying to get your ex back. Like I said, for your ex, this period of silence comes naturally. Whether good or bad, you play a role in that outcome. If you have too much anxiety and push too hard, you may prompt your ex to simply move on to a new relationship. One interesting thing is what I call your honeymoon period chase. You jump from one relationship to the next, never letting the relationship mature beyond the honeymoon stage, and that's by design. 3. This brings us to an intriguing question. Can too much silence be a bad thing? Absolutely. This is why I recommend that you adhere to a maximum period of 45 days for the no-contact rule. We've found that if you give your ex too much space, it can negatively affect your chances. The same thing happens if you don't give them enough space. It's about finding that balance. It's about finding the perfect amount where he doesn't feel overwhelmed by your presence, but also not so much that he feels like it's okay to move on, assuming of course you want him back with you. That's why choosing a time frame for the no-contact rule is one of the most critical decisions you'll make. 4. Choose the right amount of silence. What we find works best is basing the no-contact rule deadlines on attachment styles. We generally recommend 3 deadlines. A 21-day rule, a 30-day rule, 45-day rule. The 21-day rule. This works best for your ex with anxiety or someone who displays fearful and avoidant tendencies. This may surprise some, as people with a fearful avoidant attachment style often fluctuate between being extremely anxious and extremely avoidant. The 30-day rule. The 30-day rule is ideal if you think your ex was relatively secure. For your ex, 30 days will most likely feel like 30 days. Unfortunately, there's not much to add here. The 45-day rule. The 45-day rule, on the other hand, should be used for your ex if he is a dismissive and avoidant person. This is why most people use a 45-day rule, since their ex usually has an avoidant attachment style. All this is done in search of the happiness point in the period. Your goal is to find that perfect moment of silence where you can communicate with your ex just as he begins the nostalgic daydream about him. You are an essential part of what we do on this channel. For this reason, we keep an eye on what you need, and if it is your desire to recover your ex correctly and effectively, you must click on the link below.